And welcome in, everybody. I'm your host, Matt Novak. Alongside me, as always, Grant Hawker.
Go M's, baby.
On the third mic is Jamison DeFore.
Yo.
Joining us again this week is our good buddy, Mike Connor. Hey, man.
Hey, M's, is that some sort of football team? I don't recognize that.
M's.
The Mariners, baby. Let's go, man.
Oh, man.
Hey, 15 innings the other night. That was fantastic.
Yeah,
So
we're
good.
not going to not talk about it, but before we get to that, a round of applause and congratulations to Grant, newly minted father this last week. Absolutely. Baby Charlie and mom Chrissy are doing awesome. Super pumped for them. Cute baby, small baby.
So
Holy
small.
cow.
Super small.
It was, correct me if I'm wrong, 5 pounds, 14 ounces?
15 ounces.
15 ounces,
Yeah.
but 20 inches long.
Yeah.
Skinny, tall baby.
Wow.
I don't
Yep.
know how that
That's-
happened
yeah.
because Grant is the shortest person on this podcast.
That's true.
His
That's
wife
true.
is not amazingly tall.
No, and I'm a
Uh,
head taller than her. So I don't know where, I have
yeah.
no idea where it came from.
So hilarious.
I was
We'll see
telling
if that
Grant
stays.
before we started, Charlie's the meal ticket for the family. It can be
That's right.
Charlie Wembenyama, maybe.
Yes.
You know,
I'm just gonna
the
live
WNBA.
vicariously through my child. I'm gonna be the worst sports dad ever. That's what's gonna happen.
That's 100%.
She's my ticket out of here.
No, knowing her mom, that is not what's going to happen. But
That's true.
Now we're excited for them, and we're excited to break down this week. But as we just said, we got to talk about it. Okay, we got a lot of West Coast fans of this show and regular listeners, and I was right there with them Friday night for all 15 innings. I was tuned into this game. The Mariners in Game 5, gotta have it at home. I knew plenty of people that were at the game. Good for them. My buddy Ted was at the game. He watches some of our stuff. I'm watching all my friends' Facebook feeds, and then the psychotic nature of that game and what it brought out throughout the night was just intense. Over 5 hours of baseball.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
216 pitches thrown in that game. It was the longest winner take
one
all.
team.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was the longest winner take all playoff game ever. There have been longer ones, but not for the final game, the game to decide it all. It was the longest, and it was incredible. Capped off a perfect day for me. Perfect
Yes.
day.
Yep, because that night Grant became a father, and
Yeah.
then Charlie is apparently the good luck charm of all good luck charms, because the Mariners are 3-0 since she came into the world.
Yep.
And I at this point, as a non-rooting Red Sox fan here, I'm firmly in your guys' corner. I'm about
Thank
it.
you.
I
Thank
do
you.
not want the Dodgers winning another World Series. Don't really like that. Mookie's had enough. And although I will say, in one sense, I do have a lot of respect for Kershaw.
Yes.
Wouldn't be sad for him if he walked off in glory.
But they
past
won
that
last
game.
year. He won it last
I
year.
know he should have walked off last year. I actually agree with that. But no, I'm hoping for the Mariners, man. I really am. Up 2-0 already.
Yeah.
Dude, they handled the Blue Jays in Toronto. shut
After
'em
coming
down.
off that game, they took that one day
Mhm.
off to travel across the country to another country, and then have won them all. I'm not saying. I just said it before the podcast. I'm not saying anything until they win one more and they're one away. Then I'll dream. Then I will at least. But they got to win 2 of the next 5 games. So
Yep.
the next 3 are in Seattle. The ball is definitely in their court. So
I'm just saying, as a Red Sox fan, I have seen the impossible. I have seen it
yes,
with my own eyes as an adult. My team come back from a 3-0 against a team we hate more than anything in the world.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it appears like everything's trending the right way, getting the hits when you need it. The pitching performances have been amazing. I got to say about Friday night's game. I'm not going to dive into it. We're not going to spend a ton of time. Bunt more. With runners on and no outs, bunt more.
yeah.
What in the world were we doing leaving runners on first and second with no outs?
I hate bunting for the most part, especially when I see our best players do it. It's like you're wasting an at bat almost. But in that situation, when you're trying to get one run across, that's it. Just freaking do
I don't
it and
care.
move the runners.
I don't care
Move
if it's
the
Cal
runners.
Raleigh.
Yeah,
It
move the
doesn't matter
runners.
if it was Cal Raleigh. Dude, seriously, get him up there, put him on the right hand stance, and push it towards first. That's
it.
all you got to do. It's literally not. It's not insanely hard. Apparently, if you try, you also might break a finger. That looked terrifying.
Yeah.
I did see that. Yeah.
But No, I was a little bummed out that they didn't play better small ball, and I really felt like the Mariners could have won that game 3 different times. That double play that ended the 1 inning.
There was two
I mean-
or three double plays that ended it.
Well,
for
I'm
yeah.
thinking the comebacker to the pitcher.
Yeah.
You get runners on first and second with no outs, and then that inning ends with a comebacker to the pitcher, and he gets it.
Just win
Why
the
you
game,
also,
dude.
yeah, why you didn't try and advance to second base in that scenario, like stealing a base. There's just so much they could have done.
Yeah.
But glad they got the win. Good for Polanco. Seemed like the guy that was going to get it. He was hitting the ball hard all night.
He's hit. Yeah. And the
It
thing with
felt
baseball,
inevitable.
too, is you don't have to be the best team. You can just be the hottest team, and you just got to play your best ball for 2 weeks, and you can win the World Series. That's what the Texas Rangers a few years ago. They were not the best team in the league, but they got hot for 2 weeks and won it. That's all you need. So
You get and anymore since it's the expansion of the playoffs. There has been as many wild card winners as there has division winners of the World Series. It's just get there and see what happens, man. October's October. You only need 3 pitchers.
Yep.
Like really, you need 3 starters to get you through the postseason.
you need 2 or 3 guys to be hot.
Yep.
To hit the ball. That's it.
And because you got the best defenses in the league, you got some of the best offenses in the league. By the way, Detroit had won 1 game in 32 days at Comerica Park.
Yeah.
When their season ended. 1. They'd won 1 game at home in 32 days.
They sold their season. They were the top seed. They were doing all this stuff, and yeah, they gave away everything. But
them and the Mets need to answer for it. Dear God, that's the worst collapse in the history of baseball. Like even
So
non-baseball people were like, "Wait, they lost how many games?" That is unforgivable, in my opinion. They should have been the 1 seed, and they were in July.
for most, yeah. Yep.
They were
until
all the way
All-Star
up
break.
into July All-Star break, and then fell apart. Yeah, Detroit gave away also some home field advantage, and it just bummer on them for what they did to themselves. You got to win at home. So anyway, I don't want to break all that down. I love baseball. I love October. October is the best sports month that there is.
Dude.
There's no debating it. It absolutely is.
It's been amazing. Just real quick, to continue on that. To have a baby in October is perfect. I'm watching sports like none other. I watched hockey today. I watched baseball today. I've watched college football. I was able to watch a 10 a.m. Seahawks game for the first time ever. I've watched so much sports. Every day there's something to watch. Hockey started this week. Basketball preseason is in full swing. So there's everything. Every sport is watchable right now. It's awesome. It's great.
And
Hold the baby, watch some ball. You're good to
yeah,
go.
that's right.
right.
That's right.
That's right.
Perfect.
We're gonna get into a bunch of games this week. We gotta start back on Thursday though, because when we're recapping, a lot's happened since Thursday in the world of sports and in life and all that. But we got to get back to it. Mr. CTE himself, Cam Scatabo, he had 3
Crayon
touchdowns. Holy cow! Ukraine eating, helmet smashing into the wall, psycho. He is
His back
weird
flipping.
as crud.
He's out there backflipping after touchdowns. He looks like a brick wall doing a backflip. It's so crazy.
I said this to Mike in an earlier conversation. He is angry Gronk. That's what he is as a personality. Like, you think Gronk's just nah all the time, and he's just psychotic and dumb, and he is. And not in a business sense, though. For some reason, that dude's brilliant when it comes to money. Much like Marshawn, right? Like, not all
brand.
there,
The
but
brand.
all there for some reason.
Yeah.
But, dude, he was awesome Thursday night. Jackson Dart is a dude.
yeah, he's all right.
That's a
Sure
dude.
seems like it. He does just enough.
Eagles, I'm in your corner now. Like I still have my Dart hesitations realistically, but if you're gonna go beat the Eagles, one of the teams that I hate more than most teams,
No.
I'm there. I'm there.
No, it was a good looking win. I will say, and we got to put one caveat to it. There's one guy that was not on the field that matters the most, I think, for the Eagles. I've said this. He's their best player. Jalen Carter was not on the field Thursday night. He didn't quite make it back out for that game with it being a Thursday. If they said it was Sunday, he was about 60-40 yes if it had been a Sunday game. So he was not on the field, but this was a rolling game for the Giants. 34-17. 34-17, guys. That's not we hit a field goal to win it, and it's a divisional game at home on a Thursday night, and weird crud happens. Nope. Straight up domination.
Yeah, it was bad. And we've said it a couple different times, and I got it in the notes here, but man, how did this Philadelphia Eagles not fire their offensive coordinator yet?
They did
offense
4
looks
tush pushes in
bad.
a row. That was the most
That was the worst
disgusting
thing I've
ever seen on the football field, besides
Worst
the London game, which I'm sure we'll talk
period.
about later.
And I think it
Well,
just
that's
proves
true.
that they're like, we can't run a normal offensive play. We're scared to pass the ball or run the ball. So we're just gonna get a yard of play, and we're gonna score a touchdown that way. It just shows there's no confidence. It's not like this is our style of football. To me, it shows we're scared about what we're gonna do.
And we have a cyborg wide receiver, by the way, who can just bully anybody. But we're just gonna push 4 times in a row, I think. Actually,
you have the reigning best running back in the league, and they're barely handing him the ball.
One of the greatest running
backs
we've ever seen.
Yep. Like, what is this team doing? That's my big quick question. What is this team doing?
You have a genuine all-pro tight end in Goddard. Yeah. I know he's past his prime, but you have that in Goddard. You have AJ. You have Devonta. Is a fantastic, just as good as anybody's got 1-2 in the league. And then genuinely, yes, a top 5 all-time running back season from Saquon Barkley. You still have the apparently, supposedly, the best or second or third best offensive line in the whole league. What are you doing? But let's talk about it, because when they're down, they can't get the ball down the field. Jalen Hurts targeting wide receivers over 10 yards down the field. On the season, 10 of 28, 35.7 completion rate, 35th in completion rate, 30th in accuracy. Bro, you are one of the worst quarterbacks in the league at getting the ball down the field. So if they get behind, they're done. They're cooked.
Well, and especially with
except when they played my team, ironically, of course, of all weeks.
Too, like AJ Brown is the top rated wide receiver in man coverage. And the Giants defense runs man coverage more than any other team in the league. Like, I was expecting AJ Brown to feast.
Yep.
I was like, you know what? They know the weakness. That's a clear strength for them. Just get it done.
And to be fair, seriously, Jamison, that was defense and special teams on you guys that got them.
Yeah, we should have got 2 kicks blocked, fumbling the ball. That was more
one return for a touchdown.
Yeah, self-inflicted stuff that also, ultimately was good special teams play on their behalf. But they still weren't doing anything super impressive offensively. It was just, hey, you got a 5'7" corner, throw it to AJ Brown a couple times, and
some
then
timely passes.
Yeah, and then we've been saying that all year long. They're not doing anything special on offense. Nothing. They're not scheming it up very well. It's so simple and basic offense. And defensive have figured it out. And this Giants D line is good. They've got 3 first-round picks on that line.
Dogs.
There's some good players on that line. And you're just sitting there, you're like, and then they can just attack this offense. And this offense is so simple and basic. And I don't even know what else. It's bad. It's bad.
Mike Jamison, I know you're the stats guys here. What is the most yards that Saquon's run for this year?
I was actually just about to pull that up. I was going to start with his total yards because it's jarring where he is on this list of total yardage. He's only averaging 54 rushing yards per game.
That's
what do you think the most is, though?
That's
I
fewer.
thought it was 74 or something like that.
He has fewer rush yards than Cam Scadaboo, and they were sharing snaps the first couple weeks, and it's the Giants offense. It's not good.
Yeah, he's on pace for approximately 908 rushing yards this year. That's what he's on pace for.
5 of his 6 games, he has had 60 or less rushing yards. He has hit 88. It was his top, and that was at Kansas City in week 2, and he did it on 22 attempts.
Yeah, and he's only averaging 3.4 a carry right now. It's.
I want to point out that we've made fun of them before. The Vegas Raiders have the worst offensive line in the league. Genty is getting hit 1.1 yards behind the line on average.
Preach it.
And he has a 120-yard rushing game.
Yep.
And Saquon Barkley does not.
And he averages more per carry than Saquon does.
What is going on with this team?
He's got, let's see, I was looking at first downs. Yeah, he's got more first downs. Saquon only has 15 first downs. If you would have told me that, I would have been like, oh, Saquon probably has 15 first downs in, I don't know, the first 3 weeks. But here we are. He's got 15 first downs. That's quick, skimming. Every other running back that's on this list towards him, besides ETN, has 20 plus first downs at this point.
I was gonna say that's like CMC's half is 15 first down because he's the only person on that offense. Yeah. You're what's going on with Saquon? Give him the ball.
Yeah. It's not a snaps issue. Gainwell is getting the typical 20%. That's about where he's at. So Saquon's still a 3-down back, still a good blocker.
He's 6th in carries in the season and attempts.
Not attempts issue. No, they literally cannot do anything. And I understand, like, we sat here last year. Everybody did. I've already mentioned it in previous weeks. We said the Eagles are not good. They're barely winning these games. They're barely doing all this stuff. Now it's worse. And your offensive coordinator seems to be taking weeks off. Remember what Dallas did to this team? Like, genuinely, what they did.
Yeah.
And I understand it's different a little bit in the sense that, like, the way they're playing with Jackson Dart and Scadaboo is different. Like, they're going to take chunks, and they're not trying to do deep strike and Russell Wilson chuck it down the field, cross your fingers, and Neighbors is down there somewhere type garbage. Like, this, it's different. You got these young guys, and you're doing an intermediate passing game and a solid rushing game. But, dude, 34 points the Giants were able to put up was just on the Eagles' defense, again, without Jalen Carter. But 17 points against the Giants? They haven't changed any personnel. Nobody came off the IR to save them. It's the same team that Dallas put up 40 on. I don't know what we're doing here, man. This is wild.
And you look at Jackson Dart, his average release time, I think, was like 2.2 seconds, right? They're just quick pass, run the ball, quick pass. And they just marched up and down the field on these Eagles. And you think the Eagles could just do the same thing. Like with A.J. Brown, have him cut across, throw right to him, 5 yards at a time. They could do that. Why aren't they? Like, what is going on with this team?
Yeah,
Jalen
use
Hurts
the bully,
can step
man.
back.
I just got
Like, I don't
jump
understand.
scared. I just got jump scared by this number a little bit here.
Yeah.
I was just looking, okay, obviously we know they're struggling offensively and they're winning games in the ways that they can. A very small margin of error here. For their total yards per game on offense, they are the third worst in the league. By the way, Cincinnati and Tennessee are the only teams worse than them, which means that Pittsburgh, the Jets, Cleveland, and Miami are all teams that have more yards per game offensively than the defending champion Philadelphia Eagles, who universally, we understand, probably have the best top to down roster in the entire league.
What are we doing?
That's
It's a
coaching.
problem.
274 yards a game.
Someone. Just pick a
It's-
guy. Literally
I
put an
don't-
eye mask on.
Quarterbacks are
What?
like Matthew Stafford is passing for more yards a game by 40 yards than this team does in their entire offense for the whole game.
Yeah,
That's
Mike,
bad.
it's coaching. That's 100%.
it's
This is not
coaching.
this to me is not a talent. It's not a player thing. To me, it is coaching and scheming because
Mhm.
there is no excuse
No,
other than
there's
that.
none. There's none. And I know we can keep beating this down, but let's just look at it from a certain lens. Like, you've got so many weeks to figure this out. You do. Because genuinely, the Giants look like they're coming not just to win a couple of games, they're coming for the division. That's what it looks like right now. They just knocked
They're-
off the best team in the division. They're
they're
running the
hyped.
ball great. Burns is a monster.
Yeah.
A freaking monster. And there was a guy on this team. I was looking at this box the other day. Isn't he the one? Their off-ball linebacker, I'm pretty sure, had 17 tackles in this game. I gotta feel bad I'm mentioning that without double checking before I say it, but like they look so good when you just watch them play on Thursday night. I watched a good chunk of this game. Like, they look so stinking good. And it's getting the stops when you need it, like not allowing them to get to the third. The big thing they did, by the way, I know with tush push on the goal line aside, they did a great job of keeping it 3 yards and further back on third down throughout this game. And it was the pressure that Burns was bringing along with the rest of the defense on first and second down, pushing them into those like second and 12s or second and 10s. And then they're just able to take a small chunk. I mean, they really seem to draw a line right at about 7 yards from where the ball was snapped to make sure that they were keeping it to at least 3 yards out. Because the tush push, you can stop at the 3 yard marker for sure. That 2 and less is where it gets really difficult.
And I just want to say, like, that, and you've got Dart and Scadaboo, right? These two rookies, by the way, that have come in, and you feel the energy. Like, they change the locker room just because they're psycho crazy and love football. They're just out there just out there in the world, saying the weirdest things in the world if you listen to Scadaboo. And he loves football and hitting people. And that's like changing the culture in that locker room. And you can see it on the field. Once
Giants
Scadaboo's
fans
like,
are happy now, man.
yeah, once Scadaboo's like out there full time, and now you got Jackson Dart out there, and Russell Wilson they're crying if they even has to touch the field, and you're just like, These
Dude,
guys are just so hyped and going. You love it.
And it's
Just-
all
Did you
this
see the
despite
one
losing
pass he
Malik
threw?
Neighbors too.
I saw the one passing there. It was bad.
Yep.
It was
Dude,
bad. It's
I
one
mean,
of the
he
worst
had a
fall
guy in
offs
the
I've
back.
ever seen in my life. One of the worst fall offs I've ever seen in my life is Russell Wilson.
I don't know. I think it's the worst. I don't know what's
Like,
comparable. I don't know what's comparable.
It's so bad.
It's so bad.
He
By
went
the
from
way,
being, like maybe future Hall of Famer to what in the world is he even doing in the NFL? Like
Yep.
in 2 years, it was
he's
so
not
bad.
playing. He is not playing next year. That's not
God.
happening. Like, he's going to get his money this year, but he's not playing. By the way, we also need to make sure that we mention this. Jackson did go down twice in this game, got sacked twice in this game. Also did get hurt for a moment. That's why we're mentioning Russell Wilson entered the game and got booed off the field. And Brian Dable, by the way, needs to stay out of medical tents, just for the record.
He might get a
that's
fine for
illegal.
that. Just saying.
He
It's not a
better
good
get
look.
fined for that because, yeah, he was clearly yelling at doctors trying to get Jackson Carter
He's
off
like,
the field.
get Russ off the field. Get him back now.
Also,
Please
I
see what
feel like
just
it's worth
happened out
saying-
there.
I feel like it's worth saying at this point, if you are so concerned about that, just make Jameis QB2.
For the real. Why?
And then
in
you
the
don't-
world.
You don't
I
have
don't
to
know.
worry about that whole situation. Just make him QB2.
Makes
It's
no sense.
okay. Like, he's not going to get booed in one pass in the same way that Russ is going to get booed in one pass, which is diabolical for New
He
York
got booed
fans.
coming
but I
on the
kinda love it.
field. It was before he even threw the pass. He was coming
Oh,
out. That guy was
no.
done.
No, I wanted to say, though, Jackson did get sacked twice in this game. But, dude, he did such a great job of fighting off pressure. He lost a total of 1 yard and 2 sacks. Awesome. Love that stat. That means he's resetting the pocket really well and stepping into pressure like that. But also 13 rushes for 58 yards and a touchdown for Jackson. Let's not forget that,
Yeah.
too. He threw for just under 200, 17 and 25 with a touchdown, then goes and runs for one. Sounds a lot like this guy that he was playing against this week last year. Like,
Mhm.
those are literal Jalen Hurts stats from last year. And, I mean, there's a method to the madness. Also, Jackson Dart needs to learn how to slide.
He
and
does need to be
not
careful.
run into
He does need to be
contact
careful.
because those gentlemen that he's playing against are very large and,
And
run
they-
very fast.
They start licking their chops when they see a quarterback. Like, they do want to hurt. Like, they love the idea of being able to smack a
I
quarterback.
mean, you knock a quarterback out of the game, you can almost guarantee your team a win, just about.
I mean,
Yeah.
There's very
Well,
few.
but
that
if-
have
I
to
mean,
play
there's Russell
imagine
Wilson.
that game if Russ has to quarterback the rest of it. If he's in concussion protocol and can't play,
Yep.
then you're throwing Russ out there. And as bad as the Eagles have looked, the Giants are going to lose that game if they have to
Hey,
play with Russ.
And the Giants are in New York. There's a couple baseball teams there. Somebody can teach that kid how to slide.
Yeah.
Just saying.
You
Please.
figure it
There's,
out.
there's somebody there. that
Russ,
can figure
hey,
it out.
Russell Wilson got drafted.
Yeah.
He could
Yeah.
probably teach him how to slide. He's pretty good at
Oh,
running
there
out
you
of
go.
bounds, too.
I do want
I
to say
wanna
this
talk about-
real quick.
Oh, you got
Last
one?
quick point.
Okay.
We talked about the Eagles hopefully needing to figure this thing out. As far as this conversation goes with the Giants, they will play again on the 26th of this month in Philadelphia.
Mm.
So they play Denver on the 19th. They turn around and go to Philadelphia again in a
Love
quick turnaround. I'm not saying that looking at the schedule, I'm not expecting the Giants to completely turn this thing around and maybe steal some thunder from the Eagles in that division. But if it's going to happen when the Eagles are in a really bad stretch and the Giants are like playing hot right now, even if the Giants don't get themselves in a good spot, that will be pretty detrimental to Philly, I think,
Heck yeah.
to lose potentially 2 games when you're still first half of the season really struggling. You could drop 2 games to a Giants team who's like really hyped right now. So just
Absolutely. Love
to
it.
put a bow on that conversation. By the way, also all of this minus Malik Neighbors. Imagine how exciting that would be for that game that we just watched on Thursday to also have a Malik Neighbors Jackson Dart dynamic. Next year is going to be really exciting.
They're all
for
coming up
Giants
at the
fans, I
same
think.
time. It's Malik last year. Like, that's you
Yep.
want that. You want your like a trio of playmakers coming up at the same time. They're going to play together for the next 5 to 6 years or however long. And that the Giants should be very hopeful. If they don't turn around this year, they should be very excited for what they're seeing out of their team with that defense being pretty solid. That they can absolutely be swinging for a wild card spot next year for sure.
I want to talk about the other team in New York because you want to talk some numbers and some insanity. London has been a trash football product. Almost every game that's been played over there is just awful.
I'm going to argue that also when you send a team like the New York Jets across the country,
Yep.
again, last year they sent the Bryce Young Panthers and the Daniel Jones Giants to London last year.
Yeah.
Why are they like Well, I taught us last year. If you want to expand your game and make you want to send the best of the best, do not want to send your best across to play a game to get fans to draw in a crowd, and you want to see fireworks. Why are you sending the New York Giants anywhere? New York Giants fans don't want to see their team right now. Why the crap would you send them across the pond?
Jets.
In their defense,
Jets,
in Europe, they're used to watching low-scoring football matches.
It just felt like a soccer game. Yeah,
I've seen some soccer games with relatively close scores to this. Maybe not in Premier League, but on the lower levels. This poor London crowd, though, had to watch the Broncos in a basically unwatchable game play the Jets. The Broncos got Fields 9 times. They sacked him 9 times in this game. I loved how this got written in here. The Jets had a total of 82 yards gained in this game, 92 of which were rushing yards. Let that sink in. I said those numbers correctly. Fields threw for 45 yards total and then lost 55 yards in sacks. The NFL takes that off of the passing numbers, so it was a -10 net on the passing yards for this team. They end up with 82 stinking total yards in this game. The Broncos on the other side of this, though, are averaging 5 sacks a game with 30 through 6 weeks and are on pace to beat the 85 Bears season sack record of 72. Denver wins this game 13-11. I wish it was a baseball game that we were watching at 13-11. That would have been way better than the garbage that was. I was checking in with this game, so I have Cortland Sutton, who I did not think about being basically shadowed the entire day by Sauce Gardner, my bad, on fantasy football. Didn't matter. I went 4-0 anyway. But I was paying attention to this game, and I'm continuing to watch all the stats, and I'm going, how's Fields doing, though? Oh, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, no, this is bad. And then I see that sack number. When it got to 7, I turned around to somebody. I was in a green room at my church. I was doing worship this weekend, and I turned to my buddy, and I go, dude, Justin Fields has been sacked 7 times, and I think it's not the 4th quarter yet. He goes, what?
And I'm still wiping the crust out of my eyes.
Seriously. 6:30 start times on the West Coast suck. But no, that was a wild game. The Jets need to figure it out. They seriously just win one. Just win one game. If you're a Justin Fields owner up until this week, that's been pretty solid because the garbage time offense that he's been getting, pretty decent. He's been a top 15 fantasy quarterback this year. But the Jets absolutely suck. The Broncos are pretty mid.
My defense is doing well.
Jamison, let's go. Come on. We both said it in our previews.
They're pretty mid. 9 wins. They're going to get there. I said 10, but they're going to get to 9. The schedule is going to give it to them. It's
like the Steelers are 4-1. If you're paying attention to each game and the team and how they're playing, it's okay. Yeah, they have a good record, but that doesn't really mean a whole lot to me. Especially when you make the playoffs and it's okay, every team here is going to also have a good record, but also be better than you.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Also, I don't know if the Jets are going to win a game the rest of the season, by the way. I'm looking at their schedule. It's
great. Brutal.
If they don't win against Carolina next week, they might not. They have Cleveland in there too, but they might not win.
But that defense will still if the Broncos defense was able to sack him 9 times, they might get him for 85. 85. They might sack him 85 times. They might break that record in one game.
Myles Garrett comes in and just murders Justin Fields.
Justin Fields isn't going to live through a Myles Garrett hit.
Could you imagine if a Eli Manning or was at quarterback there, someone who's not mobile at all, how many more times that he would have been sacked?
Eli could have at least shed a few defenders because he's
true.
A strong dude.
But you just think about that. They sacked him 9 times, and Justin Fields is one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the league.
He's not Houdini, but he's something. He's pretty far up there.
Yeah.
No, that was a really bad game. The NFL needs to examine the Europe product because we're sorry to all the London fans. We get to watch better games every week than what we
next Sunday.
It sucks.
Next Sunday be a pretty decent London game.
Which one is that?
What's next Sunday?
That's Rams Jags in London.
Oh, okay.
I put that down on the pick 'em. I'm not sure which team I'm going to pick for that one. They're both doing pretty good.
I like that. Oh, by the way, going back, that Giants Philly game for the 26th, that needs to be pick 'em.
Yeah,
that needs to be pick 'em.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that through. No, that'll be an interesting one. We're going to get down there in just a minute and talk about it. I want to talk about my favorite game of the week. This is my favorite game. Hold on. Rico Dowdle. Holy crap. You are awesome right now. 239 yards against the Dallas defense. There is no better revenge tour than this guy. Did you see how hyped he was at the end of that game? They walk off with the win, 30-27 over Dallas. Dowdle watches that kick go through and he loses his mind. I'm going to go find that coach and I'm going to go find that player and that guy that said I sucked and didn't deserve a shot. And where's the GM? Is he on the field? Oh, no, he's not. He's freaking Jerry Jones. He's a piece of garbage. But genuinely loved this for him. I'm a Cowboy hater, so I was so excited to watch Rico this week, and it was great. And not to mention the fact that I definitely have him on all my teams that matter. Sorry to everybody else, not so much. I love
Traded
Cowboy
Micah Parsons
losses,
to
though.
stop the run, by the way.
Dude, no joke.
And then give up 230.
That'd be really helpful if they had a guy that could
Rico
tackle
Dowdle,
running
your
backs.
former running back.
What's crazy
Oh, dude.
too is that essentially in 2 games, essentially the 2 games that he stepped in, he has almost 500 yards. He's got 472. He has 30 more yards than Derrick Henry, who's played in every game.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he does.
He is a monster, and I'm really upset because I have Chuba Hubbard, and I was trying to get Rico when I saw the news, and then Matt swooped in and got it.
I was just about to say, this is like when Chuba Hubbard first came on. We're like, who the heck is this guy? And then he just destroyed rushing for several weeks there for that season.
Yep.
This is like the reincarnation of that.
Yeah, they're just going to do it every couple of years. They'll just find some other guy to just take that spot.
Just jump on our other conversation. He's played in 2 games, and he has more yards than Saquon Barkley.
There we go.
Just
Insane.
to be fair, he's got more yards than a lot of guys in the NFL because he's had
That's
2
what I was
weeks
gonna say.
to remember. Anybody would remember these 2 weeks in their entire career, and this guy did it back to back. Good for him, man. And honestly,
That's the
I hope
NFL
Hubbard
record.
doesn't. I hope Hubbard has lost his job, and not
No,
because Hubbard
nuh-uh.
sucks, because
No.
Dowdle's awesome.
No, don't say that. My running back room was real low in fantasy right now, okay?
Mine's not. I'm doing great.
Yeah, I know.
I was down on points from you. And I know that you and I both won this week. So right now, Grant is actually 1 in the A-League. But let me tell you, there is nobody that's more nervous in the 1 spot than that guy. Right
No,
now.
here's the thing, though.
Because
I
guess
had a
who's
great-
coming for it?
Okay. I had Devon Achane, Bijan Robinson, and JSN this week. So
That was
I
great.
had-
Pretty cash.
it was insane. So
I had
got wide
Dowdle and
receivers.
Jacobs. I had Dowdle and Jacobs this week. So, yeah. I had as much points as one dude's entire offense with those 2 guys.
I had my best week at 160 for sure.
Yeah, I was just under that. But yeah,
Okay. Let's chat about the Bills.
let's go.
I have a question. A couple weeks ago, I talked about the fact that when the Bills were undefeated, the Chiefs were sliding. The Ravens obviously are 1-5. Their season is probably in the tank at this point. If they're going to get in, they're going to get in at the very end. And what the Bills are doing. My question is, because we talked about the Bills potentially being this may be their year with all that. Is there a great team this year?
Today?
I can think of one.
Ooh.
I have one.
It might be the same.
I think it's the same one. I think we're all thinking the same because Mike made a point earlier today about a team in Pennsylvania to me. And he was like, you got to think this team could end up being the one. And then I was like, no, there's one other team.
I'm talking about a team that faced 2 NFC West opponents the last 2 weeks.
Me too.
And as a quarterback playing at an MVP level.
Me too.
And I think it's Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But
I'm
outside
gonna
of
say the Colts.
but here's the thing. I don't know outside from the Bucs if they're truly, cause as much as the Colts have played really well, Daniel Jones has played really well. I still got it may very much go the same way that the Sam Darnold Vikings went, where it's like they're really good, but then when it comes time, when push comes to shove, and they got to win a game, I don't know if I will trust Daniel Jones.
Nobody's been sacked.
My concern with the Colts is you look at their point differential and they're like a ridiculous plus 70 through 6 weeks or something like that. But I do have some hesitations there because they've beaten the Dolphins, the Broncos, the Titans, the Raiders, and the Cardinals. And those are the only teams they've beaten. And by the way, we think Denver's mid, but they only won that game because of that penalty on the field goal. They give them an extra shot. So I'm not saying you're supposed to beat bad teams, and they are crushing bad teams.
Yeah,
for the
so
most
putting
part.
up 40 plus on some of
But
them.
Yeah,
they
no,
also did let Jacoby Brissett hang around in a game this week.
Yeah,
so,
I'm gonna say this.
but still good.
The Arizona Cardinals without Marvin Harrison, without Kyler Murray, moved the ball up and down the field way better.
Way better.
Way better. I'm just saying.
That's so bad.
I mean, but we know the rule, though. You can't look at the one-off and see it as the truth, right?
Yeah.
Because every backup quarterback's coming in with one good game.
Yeah.
And I think that's Jacoby. Like, he can come in and give you a game, but we also know that dude's glass. Like, he 100% is. And as soon as he gets hit, that guy's going to fall apart. When he loses his mobility and any portion of his protection, it's going to be bad. Like, he can't just stand tall in a pocket. He's going to get run over.
But I will say, I say that too to follow up on your Bills point. Like, I think Tampa Bay, like, we're in a weird year where it is, okay, who really is the best? Because even some of the 5-1 teams are like, I don't know, like the Colts, yeah, sure, they're good. Their offense is great. They've just whooped up on really bad teams. Even the Bills here, now it's okay. They beat Baltimore. They still allowed 40 points, and we've seen how that Baltimore defense has looked over the course of this year so far.
Michael Penix looked very
Jets,
comfortable.
The Dolphins, the Saints, those are the teams you've beaten. So
I don't know, because Matt, we talked about it last week about there's going to be a lot in the middle.
Yeah.
And I just feel every year there is at least that one, there's 2 to 3 teams that were like, like in the past, it's been the Bills and the Ravens, and it's been like the Chiefs.
Sure.
Those 3 have always been there, and those are the big dogs. And then there's usually an Eagles team in there. There's a Niners team in there that just looks. The Lions, like,
and they
look
just
complete.
got whipped up on though.
But there's like usually a half a dozen teams that look complete. And if you tell anybody at a certain point, 5 weeks into the season, you're like, oh yeah, if they go to the Super Bowl, I'm not surprised based on how they're playing because they're playing complete. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I just think that there's like the Bucks and maybe the Lions. That's like it. That I'm like,
The Lions is
no, okay, we got to be kind here. I trashed, and I will continue to until they do something about it. I trashed the Steelers a ton. And Brittany was supposed to be on with us tonight, has schedule conflict. We're going to get her on next week. And when I bring her on, even if they win this week, I'm going to go, look, your team is literally one injury away from being a house of cards. Like, legitimately, and I'm not talking about Aaron Rodgers. Like, literally, if you lose a running back, a wide receiver, a quarterback, like one of those offensive linemen, like, it's bad news Bears. Obviously, you lose Watt, and you can 49ers it and call it a season. Like, genuinely, there's some stuff there. But they are winning games. That team is doing well. They're a one-loss team. I think, though, when you talk about the Bucks, there are a couple things to consider. One, that defense is not very good. Like, just being really real, I've watched every series of theirs this year because I've been watching a lot of the winning teams in particular. And I am a huge Baker Mayfield fan. I love everything about the way that guy plays football. I seriously, no hate at all. I watched him make some great plays this week. We were going to get to that game in a little bit. But I love what they're doing. What he's doing with backup wide receivers. Now, as a Duck fan also, Tez Johnson caught his first touchdown pass from Baker this week. And genuinely was happy for him. Sad for my team on that play, but happy for him. But no, Baker is making, like, genuinely great decisions all the time. And when he has a moment to throw, it looks great. Buka dropped 2 this week. Uncharacteristically, Baker did throw one ball really behind him at one point, and then on the next series was like, bam, bam, hit him twice. And then launch one downfield to somebody else. But he is doing a great job, and you can't overstate the impact of all top 3 receivers were out this week. Buka went out in this game, by the way.
Yeah.
When the Buccaneers did pull away in the second half, he was gone. I think it was early third quarter on. So what he's doing is incredible. And they're supposed to get Mike back this weekend. I saw my fantasy point projection go up on Mike Evans today in the A-League. So that is looking pretty optimistic at this point. He went from D to O. Not D to O.
Q.
Yeah, thank you. D to Q.
I got you.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I covered you once. You covered me. I appreciate it. But no, Mike's coming back. Godwin is not going to play
2 more weeks,
next
probably.
week. Yep, he's 2 weeks out. Bucky, by the way, not playing. Rashad White.
Probably 2 more
that.
weeks. Yeah.
And he's also 2 weeks out. So this offense is not whole. And I think that says a lot. But also that defense, man, just being really real, it's got some gaps, some pretty big gaps. They were able to get after Mac Jones, did a great job, but that's Todd Bowles all day. The blitz scheming is brilliant. He didn't, by the way, blitz the Niners like at all in the first half. Niners are playing even ball with the Bucks. brings out the blitz in the second half, and Mac got eaten alive. But no, to me, they're not complete yet. They're obviously going to be buyers at the trade deadline. They need some help. David needs another linebacker, in my opinion, and they got to figure out some stuff in the secondary for sure. But overall, like that offense, man, when it's healthy, terrifying. I got to say, though, yeah, I agree with the Colts. They beat some bad teams. But for me right now, like, I'm most scared, yes, to play the Bucs right now.
Yeah.
And I just saw them this week, and I'm most scared to play them at this moment. But the Bills need to go get right. McDermott said it today. Genuinely, we need to take this bye week and figure some stuff out. This is bad.
I just think
trend the direction they are. They need a wide receiver, dude. What are you doing?
Their roster isn't talented enough.
Yeah.
Go get people.
like we're tired of it. Stop asking Josh Allen to put on the Superman cape. Stop.
All the
Stop.
time. It's
He'll
ridiculous.
do it.
All
He's
the
going to look
Saints-
good while he does it.
Go call the
not gonna
Saints and say,
Two
give
names.
me Chris Olave.
Yep.
And
Yes.
Go get Olave. Go get Olave for sure. Like, absolutely. Garrett Wilson could be moved for sure. Tyreek was going to go until he got hurt. That's pretty obvious. Miami's not getting rid of Waddle. That's all they got.
Would the Bucks trade a Godwin when if he's healthy because they've got Ibuka and Evans?
I mean, it might be a smart move, but I don't know if they will.
Yeah.
I think you keep the stable.
I think they're pushing for a Super Bowl. I think they keep everybody there.
Yep. I think that's one unit you want to keep together. That's a good room. I don't know if you want to jack up that room.
Would the Bills be willing to take on a T. Higgins contract?
No. They literally have never spent money on anybody that's not Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Cook got decent money, but no, they just won't spend a premier money on anything else. Like, they've never paid a position player that was not Josh Allen real money. Diggs got 2 years on that one deal,
Yep.
Something like that.
so
And they traded him. Like,
no, they'll pay
and then you get
defenders.
beat by him.
Yeah, they'll pay defenders. That's what they value, and they're going to pay their quarterback up the wazoo because he's amazing. But no, I don't think they'll take on T. And you look around the rest of the league, I don't know what else you're going to go get that's really going to impact on teams that aren't great right now. Really, if the Commanders fall off, do you call for scary?
maybe.
The
Been playing
Commanders,
for a few weeks.
Commanders lost a game they shouldn't have lost this week for sure. They've lost a couple of those now. But if they're in the negative as a trade deadline approaches here, not too long, I could see that one. But I don't know,
The
man.
team played
It's
well. The
interesting.
team played well without Scary this year. Scary missed 2 games, right?
Oh,
Then
did
they played well.
Did they?
Debo Samuel went off. Yeah, they
You
did all
really,
right.
you really like some possessions back. I'm just saying.
That's true.
Yeah, there's first downs that Scary gets you that nobody else does on that team. So,
Yep.
but yeah, no, man, they need to go get a receiver, and we're gonna see. We'll get to it next week a lot more. We're gonna see a ton at the trade deadline because Grant, the middle is a lot, and everybody that's right here wanting to get to here, dude. It's 1 week can determine the rest of the season for one of these franchises.
Dude, I think
4 and 5 is a lot different right now than 5 and 4. It's a way different than 6 and 3. Way different.
I think too, like you think of some of these teams that are when 4 wins, 5 wins around there. I think of my team. Absolutely, if they go out and because they got this cap space to do it, they absolutely should go and inquire about Trey Hendrickson because of this division looks winnable with some of the injuries the Niners have. I don't know if the Niners would do it now.
Yeah.
Just
What did he come off with, by the way?
What's that?
Anybody know that? Hendrickson came off the field Sunday.
Oh, did he?
I didn't see that.
I saw. I just saw you went to the locker room. It must not have been serious because ESPN hasn't put anything out.
He's
but-
day to day.
Okay.
He's day to
Doesn't
day,
anything major
but
then.
with his
All right.
short week
May not play
May
Thursday.
not play.
against the Packers. But I just look at some of these teams like, yeah, I think Trey Hendrickson is going. Like, absolutely. With how
I agree.
he's going. Brees Hall, those are the two that we've talked about before. Brees
Cam
does a good-
Jordan.
Cam Jordan. Chris Olave potentially does go.
Yep.
And so, yeah, there's definitely some of these teams that are in the middle that are like, man, if we just had this one piece, that may win us that one game in December that clinches a division spot or a playoff spot
Sure.
because they're going to get that sack, go make that catch, go make that run, whatever it may
Yep.
be.
And the NFC in particular, which always makes our lives as NFC West fans hell sometimes, is like the NFC is so log jammed. Like there are 10 teams in the NFC right now that have 2 or fewer losses. And I know it's early in the season, so like 2 losses is that a lot? Is that not a lot? But like when these teams, some of these teams have already had buys. So like you have some teams that are 3 and 2. Like the Bears are the 10th team, they're 3 and 2. But when you're again at some point in the season, you're playing for having fewer losses. That's really what matters. And there are 10 of them that are all floating around there. Bucks are the only one-loss team besides Green Bay, who also has a tie. So outside, it's just boom, 7 teams in a row that are like 4-2, 3-2, and it's just okay. Like it's about to get spicy.
And our
Well,
rule
you got
has
2
always
weeks.
say that was what I was going to say. Our
You got 2
rule
weeks,
is
right?
our rule is by Halloween you know who you are.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so
Know who
2
you are.
weeks we will figure out exactly some of these teams.
Yeah.
And if we still have 8 to 10 teams that have 2 or fewer losses, that's crazy. And so there's going to be a lot of moved because of this middle.
A few of them are playing each other this week. They're in that 2-loss realm. We'll see some movement, but I want to make sure we cover all the games that we can in this episode, and we have to talk about the AFC team that pretty much most of the NFL hates because the refs be reffing. What the crud? That's not a catch. You know exactly what I mean. It's not a catch. It's never been a catch. I don't understand what New York is doing. Call somebody, dial NFL 911, whatever that number is, and figure that out. Because Kelsey had a ball pinned to the ground. They got called a catch this week. That was horrific.
Their white
Lack
whale
of
is
holding
not
calls.
Their white whale is not performing for them right now. Their prized horse is not winning their races right now for New York football. So they gotta fudge little things here and there.
Dude, this is so bad though. No team in the NFL should make it through a game, not one, ever again, without a penalty. There's no
Technically, they did have
flipping way.
one penalty call that was
accepted.
Yeah.
It was not accepted,
but it was an offsides of all things. That's okay.
Yeah.
Like
Cool. 3 of those got missed against the Eagles in one series this week. Dude, legitimately, we've complained about this a ton. Everybody complains about it, and I think rightfully, because this is absolute garbage. I'm so tired of it. You cannot say that it's not favoritism. No one else gets this. No one.
Yeah.
That was blatantly not a catch. Look at all those holding calls that they are just missing it right in front of their faces, or just choosing not to call, obviously. You cannot tell me, you can't, that there is just not something there, like a little bit of something. I don't believe that the NFL is a script, but I do believe that there are favorites.
Yep.
It's a family, but dad's got a favorite. And now it's in Kansas City, and his name's Patrick Mahomes.
You can chalk up and write up at least 3 holding penalties you should a game, at least.
Oh, yeah.
Because every play there's holding. So there's going to be times where it doesn't get called, but that also means that because there's holding every play, that there is going to be holding calls.
Chris Jones has never made it through a game without getting his hand in somebody's face.
Yeah.
Call that. Like,
100%.
He's literally never played a game in which his hand did not go up inside somebody's face mask. That's how he wins matchups against a double team, dude. Like, he legit does it all the time.
I will say this was all weeks are not great in this category, but this was like a particularly pretty rough week for officiating. The Patriots probably got the worst end of the stick by like several metrics. There were some pretty if it weren't like a Patriots versus Saints game, because nobody like who was trying to like job a game for the Saints, if it was like any other team besides the Saints that they were playing, I would be like, okay, like I think the NFL is like trying to push a narrative against the Patriots for whoever they happen to be playing this week, because holy moly. But it was a really bad week. But yeah, to have 0 like accepted penalties against you in a game is, I guess I would be curious to see like when's the last time that's happened.
To be honest, I think it happens not every season, but more often than we probably realize. And I actually watched a 10-minute doc on this a couple years ago on YouTube, and this guy was basically saying if you look at certain groups of referees, so they always have those teams, right? If you look at the different teams and who's leading those teams, it seems to always be, for whatever reason, somebody who is trying to go from here to there with his ref buddies. And there's certain numbers that you don't want to have on your record and misses that you don't want to have and all that kind of stuff. And if you call the wrong thing, it moves you from here to there on their metrics, right? So if you call a holding that wasn't really a holding, they dock you for that. And so it's one of these guys that will hey, we're not going to call this, we're not going to call that, we're not going to do this, whatever. We're going to try and not call stuff. And if you look at the game as a whole, like there wasn't hardly any penalties called too against the Lions. It wasn't like it was like 11-0, right? But it does happen. And they were showing in this doc how it's always seeming to be the year that somebody gets a bump. Like they go from here to here in the world of refs and they get that certain bump. They pointed that out about, there was a crew, I think it was in 2016 or 15, that had 2 perfect games, and they're the first crew ever. And that ref, because of his metrics within their little, however their contracts work or whatever, that next year he was a permanent white hat. He was subbing for somebody and became a permanent white hat the next year because of his metrics. Yeah.
There's
So-
incentive.
It feels like
that-
it's wrong more than it's right.
That fumble against DeMarcado, I've watched it like 50 times now. The ball was in his hands when he went, and it went over the goal line.
I know.
But they literally said it's because he was intending to let go of it. I'm like, that's not the rule of the
That's not
game.
the rule at all.
I was like, it was in his hand. It went over the line. That's a touchdown.
'Cause-
You review that Kelsey catch, and you're like, that's obviously on the ground, pinned. And you review it. I can see it at home. You've got more cameras than I do.
And,
How in the world are you not getting this
and
right?
by the way, Des Bryant, that was not a catch. But also Travis Kelce, this is a catch. Like,
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, since we were watching the Niner game this week, Mac Jones doesn't get on the strip sack fumble. They end up calling it back on review. I said live, I was like, the ball's still in his hand. Like I watched it.
Yeah.
I watched it when his knee hit, and I was like, no, the ball's in his hand. What are we doing? And they went back and reviewed it. They called a fumble on the field, then they pulled it back. That is the exact same. If you watch where the possession's at in Mac's hands with the football,
Same as
Ricardo,
DeMarcado.
same
Yeah.
thing. Same
Yeah.
exact position almost is where their hands are in terms of holding the ball. And one is possession retained by a team. The other one is a touchback. That's dumb, dude. Inconsistency.
all
everything.
reviewed.
It's
Like,
wild.
It's all reviewed in New York. I'm like, who are these people? Or it's probably AI generated. I'm not going to lie. They probably just put it in, hey, watch this video. Tell me what's going on.
yeah,
They don't want to pay
probably.
anybody.
We don't know anything. But
Sorry.
that said,
that was a tangent.
we all hate the Chiefs. Let's keep moving. The best records through week 6 with one loss, and I don't think any of us had this in the crystal ball. Steelers, Colts, Bucks, Packers.
because of the
definitely-
tie. Because they
Yeah,
won.
because of the time.
Yep.
Technically, the way it reads though is 1.5 losses. Technically, the way the text,
technically,
but yes,
Yeah.
one loss.
Yeah.
to their benefit in one instance, to the detriment in another.
Yes.
But yeah, those are the 4 best records currently in the NFL. Also, do 2 of those have a bye or 1?
Steelers did,
I think the
and
Packers
the
have had a
Packers
bye, right?
did. I think
Yep.
the Steelers and Packers have
Okay.
had buys.
Yeah, I mean, you got to incorporate that. If I mean, for teams that are out there doing it, Colts and the Bucks with
Week
no
in, week
bye,
out.
maybe we just give them a little bit of a leg up because they played the extra game.
I was going to say, if somebody gave me a crystal ball right now and showed me that the Colts and Bucks were playing in the Super Bowl, based on what's happened so far this year, I wouldn't
Wow.
be surprised.
They're
Wow, but
I wouldn't.
Playing
that's
just
but that's why
because-
we play all these 17
That's why we
games,
play all the
right?
games. Like,
We're gonna
you're
get
looking
to
at all
the
these-
end, and we've said it a million times. The cream always rises. Cream of the crop. Oh my gosh, I messed up the analogy, guys. I don't want to talk about it. We're just gonna
Okay.
move on. Failure to a catastrophic level. But the best teams will show their
Yeah.
true colors at the end, and that's absolutely true. We're gonna see the wins pile up. Somebody's getting to 12. Like, absolutely. We have no idea who it is, but somebody's getting to 12. And man, but we've got 2 weeks, as Grant pointed out earlier, 2 weeks to see who's good and what these teams really are. I'm pumped for it. We're going to get to just a couple more games, but we're going to do it in the manner of reviewing our picks from last week.
Can I just say something real quick that I've been wanting to address real quick? I came across this talking about because two of these teams have these quarterbacks.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield is 5-1. The Browns are 1-5. Daniel Jones is 5-1. The Giants are 2-4. Sam Darnold is 4-2. The Jets are 0-6. It's not the quarterback, guys. Where you land matters more than anything else.
Yep.
Because you look at these teams, you look at what the Panthers are, what the Jets are, what the Browns are, what the Giants have been, which maybe they're changing this trend for them. But where you land and where you go matters more than anything else. because you look at a team like Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is insane, but he landed with one of the best coaches, a top 3 coach in the league, one of the greatest offensive play callers ever. And that's where he landed. And so you can't tell me that's all Patrick Mahomes. Where you land, where you go matters, and also stop giving up on these quarterbacks. Stop. I would not be surprised if Anthony Richardson goes, maybe he's going to go to the Rams and be the next Rams coach because he's with Sean McVay. But
he doesn't know how to work stretchy bands.
But okay, but
he
the thing
broke orbital bone this week.
But you look at Daniel Jones. No one wanted Daniel Jones. Nobody wanted Sam Darnold. They didn't want to touch any of these guys with like a 10-foot pole.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Look at what he's done.
Like, where you go matters so much, and these teams that just give up after 2 years, because what do you expect them to do? Because of course that you get them because you have a high pick. Your team is garbage. Your offensive line is going to be a bottom 5 offensive line, so he's going to get killed a million times. But you look at when these talented quarterbacks can win if the system is right. And I just came across that this week, and I was like, wow. And I just want to bring that up, especially with some of these two of these teams, with the Colts and the Bucs, having these quarterbacks that teams have given up on. And you look at those teams that gave up on them, what they're doing, and you're like, yeah, it's a team's fault. It's the front office fault.
And on the flip side, Justin Fields this year, 0-6. The Steelers this year, 4-1.
That's true.
Hey,
that's true.
But to that point, they got a play caller this year. The guy's doing a phenomenal job. I know they had a rough time against your team this week, but Trevor Lawrence is out there winning games. Like Liam Cohen is that guy. Trevor Lawrence goes through 3 offensive play callers in 4 years, like different coordinators in 4 years. Like brutal. Literally 3 different head coaches in 4 years.
The worst head coaching decision
of all time.
Yep. With that as well. Waste a year completely.
Yep. We're referencing Urban Meyer. 100%. Like it absolutely matters. And when you watch these guys go to another team, remember Kirk Cousins was a Redskin. Remember how that all started. And I understand, like, Robert Griffin looked like he looked electric coming out. He just had Kevin Durant's ankles and Greg Oden's knees. But, like, genuinely, we watch these guys in their movement and what they do in the second place. Or even the third, like when they're finally given that real opportunity, the Geno resurrection. It's just the right system. It's the right place for some of these guys. And yeah, we saw early on, like Mac Jones quite literally just destroying teams. 49ers coming into the week had the most passing yards in the league. Yep. Coming into this week.
I don't know where that's receivers.
I don't know how many yards the Rams threw for, but they were second. Genuinely, it's awesome to watch it happen. Coaching matters. And what you put together for that guy. Well, you got to really look at that person's skill set and how they've been successful and continue to push that up. And in the world of massive contracts and advertising, and that this is a business, and it 100% is, man, you got to set these guys up long term, because Tua's out there making $50+ million a year. Murray next year, I think, is a $54 million cap hit down in Arizona. Those guys shouldn't be starting games. Yep. You shouldn't. But because they're $50 million quarterbacks, they are. And you could go and take a number of the guys that we just discussed, to Grant's point, and plug them in, and they're going to go do work. You're telling me that Mac Jones couldn't be the Dolphins starter next year? I hope I just prophesied that. Like, I really do.
The Seahawks, they might legitimately have Sam Darnold as their next franchise quarterback. He's 27.
And if absolutely. And if I'm Jameis Winston, who, by the way, is just living year to year on contracts, go to Arizona next year for the love of all things. Come have some fun. I want to watch you play in our division. I want you to throw the ball to all of my team's cornerbacks and safeties 1,000,000 times over, like you like to do. But genuinely, like, that guy could go win football games for a really good team, or at least a mediocre one. Like, he's just good. And the fact that they're sitting there second tilt to these dudes with their $50 million quarterbacks that look good on a poster and look terrible throwing a football down the field is a shame. It sucks. But where you go matters, man. I was just about to dive into it. Let's talk about our picks from last week. Wasn't a bad week overall for all of us. We did pretty solid. The Seahawks get the 20-12 win over the Jags. Definitely put a stamp on the Jags with that defense. The Seahawks defense has been playing good all year. By the way, Grant, I just side mention, is Tariq Woolen genuinely going to be available?
He might be.
Like, he looks expendable based on how your defensive backs are playing right now.
He definitely might be. I wouldn't hate it. He had that insane like all-pro rookie year, led the league in picks, and then ever since then has been up and down and just sometimes quits on plays. When he's on, he's insane. Like he's insane. He's long, he's tall, he's like everything you would want. He's like one of the fastest. He ran one of the fastest 40 times in the combine. He's fast. But like in that 49er game, he gave up the game-winning touchdown and a massive play to Ricky Pearsall that put them in that position because he's a guy that relies way too much on his talent, like more than any of that. So if he is, I don't care. Josh Job's a dude, apparently. And with Mike McDonald's defense, like I think it's kind of one of the things that you can throw a lot of guys in there. And especially when you got to pay Devon Witherspoon soon, which you should because he's a baller. I'd much rather have Witherspoon than I would Woolen. So if he goes, that's fine. I'm good with that.
Yeah, it was just interesting. I watched your team like play awesome. It looks like Woolen's snap count's coming down.
Especially after that week 1 game, especially because of what he did. Mike McDonald was no nonsense.
Didn't even go for the football when Tom just caught it. He just sat there, he stared at it.
To be fair, I thought that ball was going out of bounds too, bro. Like, genuinely. But no, I just saw his name come up on a potential targets list this last week. And I was like, oh, that's interesting that they're saying, because he was the only guy on your team that anybody
he's on his last year. They didn't, he's on his last year. They didn't re-signed him. So if you want to give me a fifth for him, that's what
dude,
a fifth round pick. That's fine.
And what's not getting enough noise about the Seahawks, and it needs to happen, and I'm going to be the guy that does it, which is weird for this podcast. JSN is the best receiver in the league today. Now, not overall. Don't worry. I know that somebody else would like to say something about that. There's a flying Hawaiian who is fantastic. But today, like right now, if you look at his game-to-game stat sheet, that connection with Darnold is very real. Darnold looks like he's throwing the ball to Justin Jefferson, except for the dude lost 6 inches. But like, genuinely, JSN is running great routes. He's got an amazing ability for a guy that's a little subpar in stature to go in high point, like kind of crazy.
This week is showing off his speed. He just ran past. That's never been his thing, but he just ran past the corner and got that touchdown. Like he's beating you in every way.
Moves. He's owning the middle. His toe tap on the sideline. His over the shoulder looks great. I don't think there's any receiver in football right now that's playing better ball overall than him, and also finding a way to get into the end zone. Again, subpar stature, and the dude crosses over the middle, gets open, even in the red zone, and he's got a couple of long touchdowns, but I think am I wrong, Grant? Is he at 4?
I think he's at 4.
For the year? Yeah. He's got 2 long ones and 2 in the red zone, and genuinely is lighting people up right now. I love watching what he's doing. Not that he's doing it for the Seahawks, but as a player, holy crap.
And too, Jameson, you talked about this with Puka Nacua. Now, because of how it's gone, he's on pace to break the single season receiving record now by 11 yards, and that's not going to hold.
Yeah.
But that's like how insane he's been. He's broken every Seahawks record for the first six games of the season in terms of yards accumulated. He's playing awesome. I'm loving it. And them moving off of DK and Tyler Lockett, they're not missing a beat. They drafted Torrey Horton, who's playing great, and AJ Barner, their second-year tight end. They're good. They're set.
So that guy looks horrifying, by the way.
AJ Barner?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Big boy. I will say one thing that I noticed with JSN's success, they have played a ton of teams that play zone early on. So 49ers definitely play a zone quite a bit. Their corners do not always travel. Lenore will size a guy up if he's a problem, but usually Saul is playing a version of zone. The Steelers are in a majority zone. The Saints play a ton of it because they suck, but you guys lit them up, so that doesn't matter. And then the Cardinals do the same. They have to because they don't have the corner play. Although, holy cow, is it Graham? Am I saying the corner's name right from Arizona? Oh, my gosh.
I don't know.
The rookie that they drafted this year, I'm
Will Johnson?
all of a sudden. What's that?
Will Johnson?
Wilson Jr.,
dude, thank you.
I was like that. Yeah.
I don't know why I had Graham in my head. Yes, it's Will Johnson. That's who it is. I was just watching a highlight tape, and I'm just going to plead my age, and my memory sucks. But no, Will Johnson, like, really good, but he's not traveling yet. He's just owning a side of the field. And then as well, the Bucks, because, again, defensive backfield, not their strength. They do quite a bit of that. Jaguars do play a little more man-to-man, but JSN's just that good. He's the one that ripped them up. They don't have anybody to hang with them at the moment, and that's not a knock on Travis Hunter, but they've been using him a lot more on offense. And really, Hunter is still their second-best corner. He's not elite yet. He's a starter for sure, but he's not elite. So I will say, like, the Seahawks have gotten that benefit from playing a lot of teams that don't have that premier secondary. Their next game's coming up against the Texans.
Stingley. Let's see what
that's going to be
Nailed
a great matchup. Let's just say Commanders is going to be a good matchup for them in that regard. Even when they get to, oh man, down the line, Falcons and Colts, those will be a couple of teams that can match up well there. So we'll see how much that hangs. But JSN against the zone,
always open.
He's just going to expose you. And Darnold's quick out. That's what he does. So it makes a lot of sense. But dude, he's terrifying.
He's so good. I love it.
And we mentioned sacks, by the way, earlier with Fields. We can't forget this stat. Fields got sacked 9 times in one game. Darnold's only been sacked 7 times in 6.
It is fixed. Their run blocking is subpar, but they are still rushing the ball a lot. They're still committed to it. It'll figure itself out. But oh my gosh, there is a good offensive line in Seattle, Washington right now. Holy cow!
And if they can figure out that Walker, if the line is right here, Walker runs this way and Charbonnet runs this way, they're going to do just fine. Seriously, why the pitch is still a thing on your team, I have no idea. They need to run off tackle.
They ran out 3 times, and I think they maybe accumulated 1 yard on the 3 times they did it.
Honestly, you guys could benefit from a traditional sweep with Walker, but like off tackle him as much as humanly possible. Even those little shovels that technically don't count. Dude, like that would be some nice stuff for you guys to run to the outside with him and just stop running him over the middle because he's horrible. Like he needs to be in space and they need to get him outside. But just me trying to help your team win games for some reason. Hey, we were not wrong. The Raiders suck, but the Titans suck worse. 20-10. This was in our toilet bowl pick'em this week. Somebody had to win the game. By the way, my Nostradamus meter was slightly off. I did say Mike McDaniel would be the first head coach to lose his job. Brian Callahan gets fired. The curse of having the number 1 pick and choosing a quarterback continues, by the way. This is 4 coaches, I believe, in the last 6 picks, if I saw that graphic correctly today. I don't agree with the decision. Don't like it at all.
Just wait it out. Just like it doesn't.
I think he had a lot of really bad, like egregiously bad coaching mismanagements to the point where he was 4-19 straight up as a head coach so far. Bye.
Yeah, my pushback, and I agree with that. I like the record says fire him. I get that, but the roster that he got handed, there's a reason. There's a reason Vrabel was like, I'm out. We made some boo-boos here, guys. And they had some linemen retire. They had guys move away in free agency. Some guys didn't like Vrabel's like just hard nose all the time style and whatnot. So they was a hard place to draw guys into. But so that roster had sucked that he inherited. But I just don't like it, man. You're trying to do something for Cam Ward, and they're like, we like Cam Ward, and we believe in his future, so we're just going to fire the coach and go get somebody to build around Cam Ward. I just hope he doesn't get Trevor Lawrence. Seriously, don't do that to him. And Cam Ward's a genuinely good dude. Everybody can see that. And I know that his decision-making isn't quite there. His accuracy is a little bit much, but it's hard when that team is just lacking in so many areas for him to be good consistently. But I will say the dude's kept him in some games for sure. And he's out there balling. Like, he's going to get there. That team's some draft picks away. And it'd be interesting to see what they do with that coaching decision in the offseason. I bet you anything, it's just a young offensive hire. They're going to do what Jacksonville just did in the same division. They're going to do what Indianapolis did in their division. That's the trend. Everybody's going young. All of the Rams and the 49ers. You guys are the OGs of the move, right? Like, youngest hire in the history of the NFL. And
he's still like the 3rd youngest head coach. Still.
Yep. Still.
Something like that.
Dude, by the way, like when I don't mean to make light of a dude's looks. I'm not exactly one to talk, but like Kyle Shanahan looks like so old when you see his face. It's weird.
There's been a couple really bad. There's been some probably some football games that have taken years off his life.
He looks like he's seen
slept.
some things.
Those
This one,
Chiefs Super Bowls that
Let's go right into
Falcons.
this game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This game, Fred Warner, future Hall of Fame nominee, goes out. He's missed one game his entire career since 2018, literally dislocates and breaks his ankle. I can't sum it up any more than with Christian McCaffrey in his post-game interview. He literally said heartbreaking like 12 times in his post-game interview. Like, he had no other word. This team is just, what's going on? And that Shanahan's like, he's got to be looking by he's 80 by the time of the end of the season. Like, this team is so decimated, and they're still playing football. It's so crazy. They're still competing. I don't even understand how.
Yeah, it absolutely sucks. To be fair, that's a great coaching staff. Like, it absolutely is. We talk all the time. We've already mentioned it on this podcast today, like this episode a couple times. Coaching matters, and Saleh is a great defensive coordinator. Kyle Shanahan is still one of the best head coaches in the league. Like, they're gonna figure some stuff out, but dear God, the team's cursed. That's all there is to it, dude. Bosa and Warner in the same season. Ayuk coming off of it from last season. CMC the year before. Dude.
Kittle immediately on IR.
The first drive of the season.
Yeah, it's a hamstring. But yeah, it sucks. It's always happening. Brock all of a sudden has turf toe. Like, what the crud else? Who's coming down with leprosy next week? Dude, this sucks.
We're bringing back the bubonic plague. That's
Oh,
happening.
gosh.
Yeah.
Seriously, is it going to surprise anybody if Trent Williams gets polio or whatever? Like, it just, dude, everything. It's so bad.
Yeah.
I'm just don't even like
Frustrated
talking
is the
about it.
word.
I love football and I love talking about the NFL. I hate seeing what's happened to my team. It's just, it's not. It's so hard. Like, it's just so hard to be a fan and continually see the same crap happen. By the way, we've had the same head trainer since 2019, and if that guy has a job in 2 more weeks,
Why does he still have one? Like, I don't even care about.
By the way, he's
it's
the
freak
guy.
Accidents,
it's
guys.
not.
It's freak accidents.
No,
Like,
he was the trainer for the
Fred
Broncos.
Warner got his rolled up on his ankle and it twisted it out of socket. Like, you can't do anything about that. There's literally nothing you can do about that.
Tristan Wirfs could just not have done that.
To appease fans. Maybe you do it, but
Yeah, man, the trainers have nothing to do with the
Peyton,
soft tissue stuff. I'll tell you that does have something to do with it.
When
The
Peyton
hamstring issues,
Manning,
but breaking legs, there's nothing to do about that.
he was the trainer when Peyton Manning jacked up his career and still won a Super Bowl, but like that last injury, he was Peyton Manning's head trainer as well. I want to be a little bit conspiracy theory because my life sucks right now.
I disagree.
But you know what's crazy? Like, as much as like this has all happened, the Niners this week get Kittle back. Brock is going to be playing quarterback. Pretty much that's for sure this week against the Falcons on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Pearsall is trending right in this moment, at least. Jennings is playing through all kinds of crud apparently. Although I have some
bruised ribs, like
knee, ankle, broken ribs. I'm like, dude,
he's playing through it somehow.
there's a couple hospital balls that Mac Jones did throw to him. Like that.
that's true.
There's a few of those. I'm like, oh, he's trying to. He must hate Jawan Jennings because there's a safety right there that's running full speed at him.
Hey, trying to get his boy Kendrick Bourne more snaps. That's all that is.
Hey, I will say that dude's looked fantastic.
Hey, Mac Jones, Kendrick Bourne, they played together for 2 years.
Yeah.
No, they do have the offensive weapons coming back. And if Ayuk really is going to wait until December to come back, and we'll see what the team is basically by the time he comes back, they've got a lot done with very little so far this season. When you look down the line for the 49ers before we go to that next game, like really, those games that we thought were winnable, like the Falcons and the Panthers, the resurgent Panthers, 3-3 right now. When you go look at some of those teams, we're like, oh, that's a win, that's a win, that's a win. When you look at all the injuries that the 49ers have accumulated, you really can't look at those games and go, that's a win.
Mhm.
That's a maybe, is what that is. And they feel a lot more like 50-50 games right now than 2 weeks ago. That's for dang sure. So, yeah, that one was a heartbreaker. I was better off by far when Bosa went down than when Warner went down.
Warner went down and I went and took a nap. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I punched.
It hurt me in the heart. It hurt me in the heart. It
My
really did.
couch took the worst of that, and my son went for a walk.
that would be like if I was watching like prime Aaron Donald and then he had a season-ending nasty. I would just be like, okay, I guess I don't really know what to do.
No, it felt like the season was over in the moment. It really did. In the moment, it felt like the season was over.
And then
Like,
they played all right for a little while, like before the Bucks pulled away. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Niners got to learn how to get after the quarterback. But interestingly enough, Shanahan and Lynch say that the way they were approaching trade deadline hasn't changed a whole lot. They do believe a lot in the depth. They did draft Nick Martin this last year to be a
Yep.
future stud linebacker. It looks like he's going to get some snaps. He had some mixed reviews in preseason, but as a rookie, he's going to be coming out for them. D. Winters was already playing great ball. But it looks like the Mike for right now is Tatum Bethune. They're going to give him a shot. He's been on the squad for a bit, and then Nick Martin's going to get elevated. There's a few options out there too. When you look at what's out there right now in terms of trade targets, I think this one was really interesting. This came up today. Demario Davis down in New Orleans makes a lot of sense. He is 36 years old, but right now this is a 5-time All-Pro who today is ranked 12th in PFF grade for all linebackers, 90.5 run defense grade. His coverage grade is 26, but that's not what they'd be bringing him in for anyway. That would be a prime target for them, expiring contract, guy that is at the end of his career to come jump in and get some snaps. Not going to be shocked at all if they go do something like that. And the Niners are still apparently in on the Trey Hendrickson discussion, as well as Kayvon Thibodeau. I heard a lot of rumors today about the Niners actually trading Juwan Jennings for Thibodeau, and that being a nearly straight across trade that might include a low-level pick to get it done. Niners would certainly be willing to drop a 6th or 7th if it can improve that pass rush. So it'll be interesting. Yeah, it's hard to see the bright right now, and I'm just trying to think of it as years gone by as a fan. There's still hope. Like, you got to believe a little bit and see if your team can get healthy. But we got 2 more to get to, and then we got to do Pick'em. And I know as we were going through last week, the shocker for us, you want to talk about things that piss off a 49er fan. Freaking Jake Moody, you bum. You didn't hit 4 kicks in a game for the 49ers in 3 years. You play 1 game for the Bears, and all of a sudden you're a golden god inside 50 yards? I hate you. I hate you with all my hate. I cannot believe that little turd went and kicked a game winner on Monday Night Football against the Commanders. Absolute garbage. He missed every clutch kick. He lost the game for us against the Browns last year by his dang self. I don't understand what happened. And he also cost me this pick'em, so I double hate him. I loved what you said, though, Mike, about Jake Moody, and I'm just going to read it as a quote here in our rundown. Said, I hope you slip in a puddle and fall down in Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft. No, that was wild. That one came off the way it did.
It was a good game.
Did you guys hear? No, it was a good game. Did you hear Aikman trash Caleb Williams?
Yeah.
He literally
hated him the whole night.
Wow. I thought, as a fan, we've all heard, man, there's some favoritism for this other team against my team from these commentators. I don't know how you could be a Bears fan and not think thoughts like Troy Aikman hates the air that Caleb Williams breathes. He hates that guy. I just can't stand watching him throw the ball. I hate everything, every throw that he makes. Like, literally, that's stuff that he was saying in the middle of the game. You're like, what in the world? You're like a $40 million announcer, bro.
I kind of like watching Caleb throw the ball. That's the thing that he's particularly good at, actually.
The running with the throwing and the running, yeah.
That's all you can do, yeah.
Dude, yeah, against a Commanders team that needs to figure out their identity a little bit. Knew a much better job getting after the quarterback. That's for dang sure. Made Caleb Williams look pretty good with some miscues there in the backfield. Times they had him wrapped up, and he just went all of Baker Mayfield and got away. But no, it was.
Williams kind of a big guy too. Like, he's hard to bring down. So
no, yeah. His escapability is a premier quality of what he is. Absolutely, his suspect decision making and management of football games in pressure situations is well documented on this podcast and out in the world. But yeah, I couldn't believe how much Aikman hates that guy. None of us took the Bears, so that one sucked. That was a little.
I wanted to, but I zagged with the Browns, and I was like, oh, I'll maybe be a little more conservative.
Play it
Like
safe.
the Commanders pick.
Then let's get to how that went. Steelers 23-9. Not surprising to the other 3 people on this podcast every week. No, it did feel like the Browns defense is due to get one. You know, they did that to the Packers, but like they could just do this again. And if you're going to do it, it's a division opponent. It's the team you hate the most. And I would think Browns fans hate the Steelers the most. I don't know. I've never met a Browns fan.
No, it's the Ravens, man. Remember, the Ravens were the Browns at one point, and so those fans hate the Ravens.
Wow,
the
that's
most.
true.
Yeah,
That's true.
they
But like,
they sold their team.
But if you live
but
in
I understand what you're talking
Ohio,
about. Yeah.
if you live in Ohio right now, today, like I understand
First
the
of all, I feel
generational
sorry for
hatred.
you, but
Yeah, that sucks. Ohio blows. I've been there. It's not a nice place. I have no problem. You guys have some great food, but outside of that, I don't know, man. Cool factories.
great food and LeBron, and that's maybe the Ohio State University. But
Sure.
course you-
I also hate them with all my hate. No, that was just one where you thought maybe that could happen, but I would say again, I think they hate the Steelers right now.
Yeah.
I think they do. Plus, the Steelers can get got, and it would have been nice to see that happen here. Aaron Rodgers, by the way, never lost to the Browns in his career, 4-0, and he still continues to look okay.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That's the best I can say about this Steelers team. They just look okay.
They look okay.
They're just
They don't run the ball
cruising.
really well. They don't
No.
pass the ball
Yeah.
really well.
it's
They don't play
functional.
elite defense. It's good. Dylan Gabriel is not a good NFL quarterback. That dude that has all the patches on that jersey, he's going to put another one on it here pretty soon. Sanders is going
He's
to
going
get
to put the
shot here.
Sanders patch on there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I cannot
Yeah.
wait to. I'm not going to lie, though. I can't wait to see that guy get lit up. Can't wait.
He's
I
not
hope
a
they,
big.
they play him against TJ Watt in the second game this year. I really want to see him get massacred. I do not like him at all. Sam, I do not like him. But genuinely, that will be funny for me. But you watch where the Steelers are headed right now. They've got winnable games for a while.
Yep.
This team could definitely make the playoffs still. This division sucks as a whole. Like, it sucks.
Yeah, with we didn't even talk about the Ravens today because
Ravens are terrible.
It's a bad team.
Like,
like,
they are
Wow.
literally so bad. And they're out there trying to get help, and they're still 1-5. Dear Lord, if a team ever needed an early bye week, it was this one. Dear God, they need it so bad.
They did finally feed Derrick Henry this week, though, talking about the Ravens. But still, but your quarterback's gone. So what are you trying to do now?
How long is that, by the way?
A couple weeks, I think. There was a chance of him playing this week. I think he might still miss the next game.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Lamar?
Yeah.
I think they have a bye, and then I think he's back after the bye.
yeah, that's it. So
Okay.
the bye they were looking at.
Yeah.
So if they had a game this week, he might have
Yeah.
missed it. But
Like I
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
this team needs it more than just about anybody ever.
Yeah.
My 49ers could use one right now. That's for dang sure. But
like week 14 or whatever for us.
we're one of the last ones. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
We're
so
not
bad.
14, but we're one of the last ones. No, I mean, for me, I don't have a ton on that one. It's just a 23-9 win, so bleh. But
Yeah.
right now, as it sits, Grant is 14-11.
That was
Oh,
the beginning of last week.
Oh, my bad. We need
have
to
to go
add
down.
those in.
You
Oh,
go down.
At the
Oh, there we
bottom,
go.
if
There we
you
go.
scroll down, that's
18 and
the
12. Grant is 18 and 12. He's clawing his way back. Jamison is 19-11. I am 20-10. And Mike got one on me this week because I went with my heart and not my head and took the 49ers instead of the Bucks. So he is at 22-8. We're still professionals. This is what we do.
It's right there. Yeah.
Mhm.
We're right where we should be, and we're going to continue to do well. But we need to get into it. Week 7 picks, and we're going to have a few repeat teams just because of the way this worked here on the schedule. But Rams at Jags. Rams at Jags.
You guys,
Jags
this is
need
the
to get
third
right.
time in 7 weeks that you put my team in to pick them.
Yep.
What are you guys
Yep.
trying to do to me here?
The Jags are making a
Because-
lot of appearances too. To be fair, I think they've already been on 3 times.
But they're playing good ball, both teams. Since you got them on the pick.
I have a lot to say. I'll take this one first. Rams at Jags. Clowntown sucks, dude.
Is this
Don't-
London?
It's in London.
Oh, this is the
Remember that.
London game. Oh,
Yep.
Then this is no brainer. Absolutely 100% Rams.
From West Coast to London, and going to get a West Coast team in London to win a game.
It's gonna happen, dude. I'm gonna choke to death while you guys talk about this game, but it's gonna happen. Rams.
I want to go last year.
That's fine. That's fine. Oh, this is a tough game for me.
Oh, actually,
But
let
I
me say
think-
this too up front. Let me just because I feel like it's fair to you guys to know that Puka is still day to day with an ankle thing. So we have the bye after this game. There is a chance that they say, "Hey, we're not
Chill.
going to send you to London to play this game. Take the week off." So
I don't
build
care.
guys
that
got-
in for what
You
it's
got
worth.
Devontae Adams and Kyron Williams. I don't even care. I'm going to take the Rams here just because I saw what the Seahawks did to the Jags, and you guys are built the same,
Yeah.
essentially. And so I like the Rams over the Jags. Even the Niners had a chance to beat the Jags in that last 2 minutes of that game. So as well as the Jags have been playing, I think I'm liking. That's such a far way to travel. That is so far.
We're staying in Baltimore also.
Yeah,
Just
that's
so
a 49er move.
It's still a far,
Yeah,
it's still a far
still
trip. At
so
least we're not
far.
coming from West Coast, but
And the Jags play there twice a year, like right now. They have been. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Rams. I just think they're a slightly better team right now. I like the Jags right now. I like what they've done. I just don't think they're quite there yet.
Well,
I think the Rams are still
mean,
kind of there.
before he says it, the Rams have better units. Like,
Yeah.
just period. All across the board, they have better units.
special teams is a little questionable. Right?
Yeah.
I
Your
wasn't going to
kicker,
say
that's-
that one.
that's-
We don't spend time talking about special teams on this. We just
Kickers
Well, they've
matters.
lost us 2 games.
Yeah, they have. No, but overall, like better units. You said they're built really similar with the Seahawks. Seahawks have a power rush. The Rams have a speed rush.
Yeah.
When you watch how they play in the latter half, the back 7, if you will, yeah, there's a lot of similarities there. Especially, I would say both teams get after quarterback, will do it a little differently. But the Rams defense is so stinking young and so fast.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to have a hard time keeping up with that offense. The Jags, like Brian Thomas, is playing a little better. He is. The drops have gone down, but they still don't have premier weapons to face up against that defense. And I think Trevor Lawrence is going to get hit a lot.
And he's gonna throw an interception. He's gonna have a turnover one way or another. That's just the Trevor Lawrence experience.
He's
Up
going to
and
have
down.
2. He's going to put one on the ground. He's going to do one in the air. It's going to happen. It's because of the amount of times he's going to get hit. It's not necessarily going to be poor decision making. He's going to get hit. Because Jags' offensive line is not elite, dude. That's a very mid-range offensive line in this league. And you guys right now are top 7 defensive rush. So,
yeah. Our secondary pretty lacking, but again, with the things you were just mentioning, I'm not super concerned about, knock on wood, getting torched by Brian Thomas Jr. with kind of how his season has been going. And again, some of the errant throws that we've seen Trevor Lawrence make. And I also just think that at some point, better head coaching situation, a little bit more consistency there. Things are going well in Jacksonville, but they're still a little new. And sometimes I don't know if this is going to end up staying shiny or if this is going to go a little bit rusty. So even though the Jags have London experience, I'm going to pick the Rams. I actually wore my Cooper Kupp jersey today because just wanted to say, as much as it hurts my soul, he did score his first touchdown as a Seahawk this week. But also the last time the Rams played in London, 2019, Cooper Kupp, 7 catches, 220 yards against the Bengals and a 24-10 win. So I'm taking the Rams, obviously.
what year was that? My bad.
2019. This wasn't even the year. This was just a 2019 season. 220 receiving yards on 7 catches against the Bengals.
I will ask, do you know if Tutu is going to play?
I think Tutu's going to play.
Okay, because if you're down Puka and Tutu, that might be a lot.
I think we're down
But-
Tutu. I think Tutu just hasn't been getting like we've been going with more Jordan Whittington and running some different looks there. Could be a Ferguson week a little bit. Like, hey, young fella, we just need a little bit of extra something in the pass game. Let's get you.
This is
integrated a
Kyron
little
week.
bit.
What are you talking about?
Williams. Feed him the
every
ball.
week's a Kyron. Every week's a Kyron week.
Feed him the ball against that defense. Absolutely, like that. That's your ticket right there. If you watch, and I understand I'm talking about CMC when I say it, but stylistically, Kyron is a great pass catcher. Not CMC, but he's a great pass catcher as far as that goes. Dude, he's gonna get all purpose against that defense. They played so soft. Like literally so soft. And you can't do that against Seahawks either because Walker can catch the ball, Charbonnet catches the ball. Like they can beat you inside that first 7 yards. And that's just how they play. They do that hover zone and hang back. And I think you guys are built to beat them. I think it'll be fine. I'm pretty confident.
My only concern is that I wake up at 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning and then I watch one of those goofy Trevor Lawrence games like he had against the Chiefs where you win with some stupid got stepped on, tried to get up, fell over again, got up, shed a tackle, scored a touchdown to take the lead with 30 seconds. There is a part of my brain that's we could lose this game.
And then your guy misses a field goal with no time left on the clock.
Don't even.
But dude, can I just say that waking up at 6:30 in the morning and watching your team lose would be like the worst.
I would probably, I got to take a breakfast nap and go back to sleep, wake up for the afternoon slate.
Listen,
try to regain composure.
You need to drive. You probably have 1 or 2 places you would pick But if they lose this game, and if they win it, I think you should do this. But if for a recoup, you should go to downtown Salem and treat yourself to some brunch.
That's
There's
I'll
2
go to
restaurants
Noble
down
Wave.
there. Yep.
I'll go to Noble Wave and I'll get me a little
you go.
breakfast, some breakfast poutine.
Let's go.
Sounds
I mean,
delicious. I'm hungry now.
Yeah,
okay.
me too.
Okay. But I know your foodie vibe, so I know that those 2 restaurants in particular that we would both be about. Yeah, that would be my choice. You know what? I need to recover from this misery, and that's how I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
Let's
that's a
get
good call.
down. Let's get down to Giants at Broncos. This is all of a sudden super interesting. You got a team that cannot play consistent offense, but gets the quarterback, and you have CTE and the rookie sensation Jackson Dart. Those are 2 different people, by the way. If you don't know who, you're wild. I don't know why
CTE
Cam's. Why is his
CTE.
nickname not already? What is it? What'd you say?
Said
CTE
CT Abu.
Oh, I don't hate that. CT Abu. But no, like that he needs to be called CTE something. Man, this is interesting, guys. I'm gonna reverse order this. So Jamison, you gotta get the thought out quick here. Do the shaky hands and
I already have
go.
I have it.
What is
I
it?
have it. I'm gonna go Broncos.
Oh,
in
that's
Denver.
not what I
It's
thought
in
you were
Denver,
saying.
Mile High. I don't know if that team is ready to go in there and do that yet. On a neutral field, honestly, I would probably hit that zag and go Giants just because of the vibes. But winning a game in Denver would say a lot about the Giants team, honestly. But I just don't know if they're quite ready for that yet, especially being a little undermanned, not having your wide receiver run at the end of the day.
Okay, Mike.
I'm gonna. I put this in here because when I looked at the games, I was all like, "This is gonna be a hard one to pick," because of the way the Giants are playing and because of the way the Broncos are not living up to what they should be.
Yeah.
But I think this is a bad matchup for the Giants because of that Broncos front defense. I think the Giants have to be able to run the ball because their receivers are not great, and the Broncos have great cornerbacks that are gonna just blanket these mediocre receivers of the Giants. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game because of this giant. Like we talked earlier, this Giants defensive line is good, and then they're going to get after Bo Nix, who hasn't been sacked much this year. I think 7 times as well. But you're just looking at it, you're like, I just think the Broncos are going to outlast the Giants in this game. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game at Mile High. I'm going to take the Broncos.
I was hoping for a zag, guys. I'm taking the Broncos.
I thought about it.
Grant might
but
be
I
the
want-
one. We'll get Grant's pick. He might be the
He
one.
might. Grant has CTE too, so he might. Genuinely, yeah. I want the Giants to win. All of a sudden, I've never cared about the Giants. I've only wanted them to win games against Tom Brady, like ever. This is the only him and the Cowboys. That's it. But all of a sudden, I'm like, dude, they're so fun to watch with the rookies in. And this last week,
They're kidding.
So
one of my favorite stories so far this year is apparently when Jackson Dart and Scadaboo like first met in rookie camp, they like said 3 words to each other and then bashed their heads together.
yes,
No joke. I'm like,
they're crazy.
they're nuts. I love it.
They're
Give me
both
more of
psychotic.
that. That's like 1950s football right there. Let's go. Like just
Yeah, I don't
hit
care
your
if
head
it's
up
1
against
year
a brick
wonder.
wall. Let's do this.
That is one of the good storylines of the year. Like,
I'm
it's
down.
definitely going to be. Our next one is Colts at Chargers. Now, that means nothing because the Chargers don't have home field advantage. They are in Los Angeles, and there's a lot of people that moved there from other places that root for other teams. So that's not a home field thing. Colts are playing good ball. This might be their biggest test so far.
Yeah.
I think this is the best quarterback they've seen. Am I saying that wrong?
Matthew
Lost
Stafford.
to Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
To kind of let him up a little bit.
I think Lad McConkey is back. And that's clear.
I tried to trade for him a couple different leagues.
I
this week. It
think
didn't work
that
out
I'm
for
not-
me.
I don't want to say the name wrong. I watched him in a couple of slashes that he had after, oh my gosh, rookie. Help me. Chargers, running back. Marion Hampton went out.
Hampton.
Thank you. I got it. Marion Hampton went out. Vidal, is that how you say it? Vidal?
Something like that. Yeah, Vidal. Yeah.
Dude, I watched 2 runs and I went, they're gonna be fine. I'm gonna take the Chargers in this game. Sad story there with Joe Alton being down
Slayton
and whatnot.
gone. Yeah.
But I like where the trend is for the offense, and I think they're gonna be able to keep with them. This is gonna be this could be a shootout. I would probably go 30-27 here. I know I used to do scores for every game, but it's probably going to be a shootout, and it's just going to be one play that goes the Chargers' way here, but I think they're going to get it.
Yeah, I'll jump right in. And I like the Chargers. I've liked the Chargers, I should say, the last couple of years. But that offensive line is just struggling. But the Colts defense is not great. Can the Colts defense take advantage of this is really the question. Because if they can, then the Colts are almost unstoppable on offense this year. So I'm going to take, oh, dang it. The Chargers defense is still really good.
Yeah, you know what they're going to do is plug that middle. Jonathan Taylor is the game plan this week for the defense. That's the Chargers' entire game plan.
Make Daniel Jones beat you. That is really what this is going to be. With that being said, give me the Chargers.
Oh, he didn't even like saying it. He didn't even like saying it. So therein lies the. By the way, Queet Pay this last week had 2 sacks.
Yeah,
random stuff that's been going the Colts' way. Is there going to be a zag, a spiritual zag, coming from?
There will be
third
not just a spiritual, but also a physical zag here. I am going to take the Colts.
The Colts.
The Colts.
You were braver than I am.
The Colts, for what it's worth, they have already come in and braved the elements of SoFi Stadium, if you will.
There you go.
And unfortunately for them, against my team, did not fare so well. But it did take a Matthew Stafford dot for 88 yards to basically put that game away, and it also did take what's his face, E. Mitchell, fumbling the ball into the end zone.
That's right. That's that game.
And holding on a Jonathan Taylor touchdown rush. So, that's the best team that they've played so far. And that is what helps contribute to a loss in the same stadium. And I do think from a boat racing perspective, as good as the Chargers are, and, I was pretty high on the Chargers when we did our preseason stuff. And I think most of the reason why I'm leaning back on them a little bit is because of the injuries, specifically to the offensive line. And I know you're on RB3, and I know it's going to be pretty decent plug and play for you, but you are still also down your top 2 running back options. So I'm going to go with the Colts. I just think if you're going to get a team like the Chargers, it's going to be now. And I think if you're the Colts, you're hot now. So we're just going to roll with it. The Colts are that team again, where I think we look back and we say, wow, great regular season, lost in their first playoff matchup. So I think right now I'm gonna still go Colts.
I do want to say and point out there's a couple games this week. This is one of them. Niners Atlanta is another one where you're looking at these games and their records and you're like, this could have serious playoff implications down the road.
Absolutely.
They're in the same conference. They're both playing. They're both looking to take their division. And if the Chargers win this game, they bring the Colts down to their level. And then they got that tiebreaker, and the Colts is the same way. And the Niners and Falcons are going to be the same thing. They're looking at the same level right now of trying to get into the playoffs here at the end of the year. And one of those teams is going to win this week. Could be the reason that one of them gets in the playoffs and one of them doesn't. So we're getting to it where you're looking at it, you're like, these could be some big games coming up here. So I like your Colts pick. I wasn't brave enough to do it, but I like it.
Let's see if he's brave enough to make the right choice in this next game. The Commanders are playing the Cowboys this week in a division that all of a sudden seems to maybe be up for grabs.
Either of these teams.
Washington wins a game and Philly drops one. Same record. There's a +1, -1 for the Commanders. The Cowboys famously have the tie already against the Packers. They coming off a 3-point loss to the Panthers. They surrendered 22 points to the Jets. They gave up 31 to start the season against the Bears. I have something to hit really quick before we get into it because this hit me between the eyes. According to ESPN research, since starts were first tracked in 1950, Dak Prescott is the first quarterback to ever have 11 or more passing and rushing touchdowns, 0 turnovers, and a non-winning record over a 3-start span.
He's hooping, I got to say. He's playing super well.
I said it a million times over. I said it in the preview. I said it after week 1. I said it against the Giants. I've said it against the Packers. They have the worst defense in the NFL and legitimately suck so bad. Again, they trade away the best player. But legitimately, they're terrible. But can Dak overcome that? Because this this Commanders defense, like I said a few moments ago, has not been great. Hosed me in the pick'em last week. I don't love it, but also, could Jaden Daniels throw 5 touchdowns this week? And can JCM go out there and like legitimately score 3 touchdowns himself this week? This could be 50 points for the Commanders. They look competent. Terry's going to play. Like, they could just go. Zach Ertz, by the way, first time ever, not this last Sunday, but the Sunday before, did not catch a pass in a game. That's the first time in his career.
Like 18 years, or how he's been in the league.
I don't know.
Time.
A bazillion years. He legitimately had his first no-catch game ever. It was the week before. That was wild. But he's gonna get more than one against the Cowboys. I'll guarantee you that.
Yeah.
No, this one could go so many ways because Dak is playing amazing ball right now. That's what he does. He plays great in the regular season. He's awesome in the regular season.
Always draft him in fantasy, people.
We reverse, and I apologize. We're going to be time limited, but Jamison, you're up first on the reverse order here.
CeeDee Lamb's playing.
Oh yeah. Oh, he is.
He's back.
Okay.
He's set to play this week.
Okay. That actually does help me a little bit because, again, to try to keep this quick, when you look at the best offense and then the worst defense, it's like the Cowboys are in both of those conversations. Most yards per game in the league, and then like top 3 in points per game scored, and then complete bottom of the league. So they're bookending the offense and defense conversation.
Yep.
You know what? I hate them. I hate them. I do. I'm not rooting for this, but I'm not loving what I'm seeing from the Commanders. And at least I know that one of these units in the Cowboys offense is going to play elite football. So I'm going to, in the most painful zag probably in the history of the show so far, I am going to pick the Cowboys. They are at home again for whatever that's worth. I think it's going to be a shootout because it has to be. Don't feel good picking them after losing to the Panthers, but they put up points. And I think if you put up points, Washington might not be able to keep up, is my only thing.
Tell him why he's wrong.
I just picked the Cowboys.
Oh my gosh. Give me Washington all day long.
Just give me a moment. I think it's because the Cowboys, as long as CeeDee Lamb's playing in this game, I think they have more horses. I think this is going to be like 40-37 or something, 42-37 or something.
Sure, it
like
could
that.
be that, yeah.
But I think the Cowboys have more horses to get that higher.
This is the game of the week, boys. This is the game of the week. It's going to be a shootout. We could see 50 points scored in this game. We could.
By like almost each team. This could be,
Grab the popcorn, everybody. Buckle up. Let's go. It's going to be good.
Look what Caleb Williams did to this team.
Huh? Another touchdown. Another one. He scored again. Oh, my God. Dak just threw a 95-yard pass. He scored. Jaden Daniels just run for 118 yards. Well, he went sideways. So
this needs to be a game where it's like, hey, we meet in the middle, we shake hands before kickoff, you do the coin toss, everything, and then there's a handshake agreement like, hey, no special teams this game. We're just every fourth down, we're going to go for it. And then if you don't get it, hey, next offense up.
Yeah, we're going full 8-year-old football, like 100%. And also,
nobody knows how to kick yet.
Single high safety, man-to-man coverage the entire game. Let's see what happens. We're just going to have some fun. That's a product that I would be about. Our last game is the Buccaneers at the Lions on Monday Night Football. I think this is a sweep. I think it's a sweep. I'm calling it right now. I know what Jamison's picking, 100%. I'm picking it. I don't think Mike, in good conscience, can pick against what we just witnessed this last week, especially with a certain wide receiver named Mike Evans coming back for the Buccaneers. I think it's a Buccaneers sweep, even in Detroit, even as much as we all love the Lions. And genuinely, we all like the Lions brand of football. We love it. We don't want it to put their defense is hurting, but we love the way they are coached. We love the way that they go about their business, but they're going to lose, I think, this week. That's going to be 2 tough losses to take in a row. I'm going Bucks over the Lions. Mike, are we going with the sweep?
It just jumped to me. All right. I'm actually taking the Lions home.
Oh, my.
I don't think they're going to lose 2 games in a row like that. No, I just don't think so. I think, the Bucks, the Bucks are due to lose. The Bucks are due to lose.
Are you telling me my 8 ball is broken? Jameson's questioning his entire existence right now. What?
It is.
The Lions,
He's
Campbell
sweating.
doesn't lose 2 games in a row. It's like Andy Reid. You just don't.
Guys,
team
It
comes
is
together.
true. It is
Team
true.
comes together.
And everything Mike is saying is true. And I also hate that this game is in Detroit.
you hate that part. That's the only pause I had.
Yeah, but I do just have to.
Two
They
sacks
just
per
got
touch, let's
bullied
go.
by a Chiefs team that's like figuring stuff out. It's a
Yes.
dynasty in the Chiefs team. They've been to 3 Super Bowls in a row.
The
But
Chiefs
that
got
Chiefs
beat
team
up,
was-
and so they came out and beat somebody up. That's all that was.
you got beat up to the point where who was it? Branch had to throw hands after the game and got
Juju?
himself
Yeah.
suspended.
Juju,
So like
Juju caught a
you're-
stray pretty much. He shouldn't talk, but he caught a stray.
and that secondary is already a little thin, and now you're out a guy because he wanted to punch someone in the face.
I
So
didn't even think about that part, but yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, is he suspended?
he's suspended for
Yeah,
one game.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
no, definitely. I feel really good about my pick right now.
Yeah, and
I'll
like
stick with
so,
it.
Okay.
Yeah, I say all the bullying stuff to say like right now maybe one of the biggest bullies for maybe somebody who's a little bit more bite-sized is Baker Mayfield. He's just it's cliche, but he's got that dog in him,
Mean
obviously.
face. He's got that mean face.
So like I just think they're gonna go in there, and I think the Buccaneers also know, and they've played some good games and they've played some good teams. I think they know that they have to get that statement win right now for people to like really be like, okay, all these one-score games, those are coin flips. What's that look like? I think they go in and I think they do it. And I still think the Lions are going to be fine.
Yeah.
I just think the Bucks are moving.
And the Niners were not that statement game because it's like beating up on the retarded kid in the court game. Where, like,
Yeah,
it's
exactly. Like you
it's
can't.
just-
That doesn't mean anything to you. But you go in and you beat the Lions in Detroit. Power rankings are garbage, but every power ranking is probably going to have them right up here if
Yeah.
they go in and they beat Detroit in Detroit.
Wow. Okay.
couple of years. I took a couple
This
of years.
could be a
so
rough.
let's,
This could be a very rough week. Oh my
Matt,
goodness.
Matt,
This
you
is where we
did
come
right
back to
about
normal,
this one.
Matt.
Yeah,
This is where we come back to normal. Yeah.
Welcome to where it should be after this week. No, I think this is a week where those are a lot of 50-50 games. We understand that. And we're really good about getting the majority. We've done a great job in Pick'em over the last few years. If you've been following us, this crew, dude, if you just went straight winners with us, we can make you a lot of money. You got a little expendable cash. Don't go gambling your paychecks, dang it. But if you got $20 sitting around and you want to double it, we can help you out. Just follow our trends. We know we're watching everything. We'll help you out a little bit. As we finish up this episode, I just want to drop a quick little thing for you. If you missed the sell high window of fantasy football, which was Quentin Johnson, okay,
Yeah.
which in my opinion was a doomsday. If you missed the opportunity to sell high and you didn't, man, I don't know why you didn't grab Dowdle or you didn't grab Rashad White last week or you didn't go snag. Dowdle's still available in most leagues right now. Like he's available in
Yep.
great majority. If you haven't done those things, the thing you want to do right now, take a step back and look where you're deep in fantasy football. And you need to assess your positions and go, what can I afford to lose? You're not going to start 5 wide receivers. That's not how that works. Most leagues have 1 slash at the most 2. The main league that we play in has 2. And so I know I'm not starting 5 wide receivers. Am I deep enough in running backs to make up for that slash spot? Because I really try and carry at this point in the year. I'm really assessing and going, I think I need 4 of each. I need 4 of each so I can cover my bye weeks, make sure I'm at my points of strength that I need to be. I don't ever carry a backup quarterback. I have Josh Allen, and this is my bye week. I'm going to go waiver wire. I know exactly who I'm going to get. I'm going to take care of that this week. I sacrifice my waiver wire, try and bump it up as high as I can for my quarterback's bye week, and then go get my guy. But man, don't stress, but look at where you're deep and make your move, okay? Determine which one of 2 guys, or really you got to have 2 guys, and then determine which one you're really good with giving away based on one specific factor. Weeks 15, 16, and 17. If your stupid league plays week 18, quit it. But 15, 16, 17 are the playoff weeks. Every decision you now make from here on out involving your team needs to be matchup minded for those 3 weeks. So determine who you're willing to get rid of in your depth in fantasy football and be okay with losing, but do it based on the last 3 weeks of the season. Because if you've won enough games to be playoff eligible, that's all that matters. I literally do not give a crud about the middle of my season. I make sure that I get to about the 9-win marker, so I'm always in the playoffs, and then I only care about the last 3 weeks. If your focus is anything else, you're wasting your time. So if you're in fantasy football and you missed out on some stuff, go look at and maybe check out the Olaves of the world, the like mid-range receivers. Maybe somebody's ready to dump Derrick Henry because they're ticked off. Lamar's coming back, dude. That offense is going to flip. This team's not going to win one game this year. So go look at some of that stuff that's in that mid-range and that's gettable that shouldn't be. Maybe some dude wants to unload Saquon because he's stupid. Go do that type of stuff. Gibbs might be gettable right now. Go look for something that's gettable, sacrifice stuff, and do it based on weeks 15, 16, 17. That's your best bet moving forward if you want to go from middle of the pack to top of the pack. I'm sitting at top. I am 1 or 2 in points in all 4 of my leagues that matter, and then I have a guillotine league where that's really hard to do. But I'm still alive in the guillotine league, doing well, happy about
I'm
it.
alive in my main guillotine still, but we'll see. This is it's getting a little dicey.
But yeah, and genuinely look at it that way. Those last 3 weeks are what matters now. And make all your decisions based on those last 3 weeks. All right. Much love, everybody. Enjoy the weekend of football. We certainly will. We'll be back next week. Like I said, our special guest, Brittany, our good friend, is going to come in, be a part of next week. She couldn't make it with us tonight, so we're looking forward to that. We're going to make fun of her husband a lot. It's going to be a great night. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Have an awesome week, and we'll see you next time. This is Sportsify.